Okay, could you tell us your name and your age?
Sarah Elizabeth Clifton, 43.
And where are you from?
Seoul, Korea.
And where does your family live?
Maryland, Connecticut.
Can you describe a little bit about your
School.
childhood growing up as a Korean adoptee? How was it for you?
It's hard because it felt different, looking different than my parents, you know, so felt out of place.
Can you describe your family life? Did you have siblings at all?
Everybody was adopted except for me, so I pretty much felt alone because my oldest sibling was biological to my parents and then a separate adoption, so I'm basically a middle child. My younger brother and sister adopted a separate because they're twins. I'm not sure what city they're from.
How were the dynamics in your family? Do you still have contact with them? Do you have a pretty good relationship with them?
My younger brother didn't tell me happy birthday, and I sent him stuff for his birthday and he didn't message me back either, but he just, you know, he hasn't talked to me for...
Do you know why you guys aren't that close? Did you guys have a fallout or?
I mean, I saw him briefly last year, but he just, I guess, went through a breakup with his girlfriend. He's a grumpy old man. He just turned 40, so.
How old are your parents?
I just have my father. My mother's deceased. So my dad's 75. He just turned 75 on the 1st of July.
Are you pretty close to your dad?
Well, I mean, I message him, yeah, so closer than anybody else in my family, so, you know.
When did your mom pass away?
About 17 years ago on my dad's birthday, July 1st.
Was that hard for you to deal with loss?
Not really.
Were you close to your mom?
Not really. Not the time she passed, no.
Okay.
I was close to my grandma, which is her mom.
Okay. Could you describe a little bit more about your childhood, not just your family life, but also like how it was in school? Were you quiet? Were you shy?
Well, I went kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, and then we went to Germany. So, but I was bullied, you know, in private school, I remember. Because like in my regular elementary school, I remember having friends and hanging out with kids all the time. I don't remember them making fun of me until I went to private school. So I went to private school from 4th grade through 8th grade, so 4 years. In the beginning, because they didn't really know me and I was new, so they'd make fun of me and call me Chinese pig, and you know, and my teacher would tell me stop crying and don't be such a baby, you know.
And this happened in Germany, right?
No, this is Waldorf school is German based. No, so in Germany, maybe, but my sister didn't do so well in Germany.
Okay.
But my brother did because he could play soccer.
Okay.
So, but me, no, I don't remember having too many problems in Germany. It was just when I came back when I was about 10 years old in 4th grade. Yeah.
So have you actually found your birth family at all?
No, I don't know how. I don't think they'd be alive because I think they're in their 70s when they had me. So I never even tried.
Have you tried searching for them when you were younger?
No.
As an adoptee, can you explain how it feels, that loss, or if you do feel a loss, are you obsessed with finding your roots at all?
No, I'm just curious. You know, that's what I was like. I wanted to have my own children, to have some kind of connection, because I felt like out of place and alone growing up, not having any bloodlines. To me, that's important, but I guess it's not really that important if you have other people that care about you. But I have a hard time making and keeping relationships because of the reactive attachment disorder.
So when did you hear about reactive attachment? Did you have like an aha moment in relationships?
Just going in and out of therapy and stuff since I was 15. No.
So can you describe a little bit about your past with mental health? Did you always have mental health issues when you were younger?
Yeah, just throwing fits. I remember throwing really bad fits, you know, and kicking and stopping and screaming and, you know, out of control, and then even as an adult breaking things because my anger was so bad. But anger is also depression, so people display their depression
Did anger
so.
run in your family? Did your parents yell a lot?
My mom would grab my arm and dig her nails into my arm. So technically that's abuse. So yes, growing up.
Did you suffer from extreme physical abuse from?
That was just one of the things that she grew up from her mom, I guess, doing, or her sisters, because she grew up in a family of 6 girls. So they'd always fight and stuff. So I guess that's what she ended up doing with me and like hitting me, but I didn't get it as bad as my sister because she would be hit a lot with this fly swatter on her legs, or, and I didn't like it, so I'd go climb a tree and sit in the backyard, and she'd be dragged to school in her pajamas. So it was pretty crazy times.
So you said you didn't have a very close relationship with your adoptive mother.
Growing up, but I felt like now as an adult looking back, I'm like, I took ballet and tap and jazz, and she made me play the violin, and I hated it, so I threw it across the room. I felt like she wanted me to be her star Asian child, make money off me, like growing up. But, I didn't like that. So I did not like, it was...
Do you feel resentment towards her?
A little bit, yeah.
So can you explain a little bit about how you feel like maybe your adoption maybe affected your relationships?
I just choose the wrong people to be with, like, half the time. They're like on drugs, or they're alcoholics, been in prison, stuff like that.
Why do you feel like you attach to those type of people?
Low self-esteem, I guess. I don't know. Somehow I feel I can connect with these people, but really I'm connecting with the wrong types of people. But I try not to judge people of what they've done. Everybody else looks upon. My dad does not like that at all.
So can you describe a little bit about your struggles, including the depression, and if you ever had any other coping mechanisms such as drugs or cutting, if that was...
In high school, cutting. I started drinking at 17, so obviously drinking is a depressant, so my mom didn't really ask where I was all the time, so I started drinking when I was 17, smoking, hanging out with my friend. I met her in Catholic school, so how that goes.
Do you feel like you had a lot of love in your family?
It seemed like it. We went to church as a family, we did family vacations, family photos, and just holidays. Thanksgiving was my favorite holiday because it was always about family. And my mom always made like the holidays special, but just later on in life, it just felt like because she adopted another child before she passed away, I didn't feel as close to her, that she wanted someone that looked like her. And I wanted someone that looked like me, so that's why I had children.
Could you describe how many children you have?
Two.
How is the relationship with them?
It's strained.
Strained?
Yeah.
Do you think that relates to your adoption?
Yeah, reactive attachment disorder. I have a hard time being affectionate with my children. My oldest says that I don't care about her because I don't have any empathy. I don't have it. I don't know how, I can't just get empathy. I just don't feel it.
Would you say you're quite emotional at all? Do you experience emotions throughout your day, like with the depression, or is it like all dull?
No, depression happens more when I drink, so I try not to drink as much. Or something like happens where I'm fighting with my kids, or my daughter's father, something happens at work, and then I feel like it's all lost, and then I just feel like I want to kill myself sometimes, but it's
so you actually struggle with suicidality currently, you would say? Just
thinking about it, but I'm like, then I have to stop drinking so I don't feel like that, because I noticed because if I drink, then I feel more depressed and I think about things more. But if I'm not drinking, then it doesn't really affect me, but I don't know how to be, I guess, I don't know how to deal with my children's emotions because I don't, love them enough. I'm not good at that.
Do you feel like there's an incredibly amount of pressure being a mother and also dealing with your own issues that you're still trying to...
Yeah, it's making me feel like I'm a bad parent because I don't know how to, be there for my kids the way they need me to be. Because I can provide them with food and shelter and taking them to school, but that's only the, top of it, they need more than that. And
so you mentioned that you said you almost lost your kids back then.
No, I did. My oldest was taken from me when she was 6 years old.
What was your emotions at that time?
It was pretty bad because after they took her, I found a guy that I shouldn't have been with because he's a child sex offender.
So your children were sexually abused possibly?
No.
Okay.
No, but that was part of it. So I didn't have someone to take care of my daughter a lot. So I found kind of random people. One of them was a customer, and then I found out later that she wanted me to be part of her escort service. And technically, I guess she was a prostitute, and she had my daughter like twice. And so I went to a counselor, and she put that into the paperwork. There was like a lot of stuff against me, and then, you know, dating a child sex offender. But this was after they took her already. But all of that went to the paperwork and to the courts, and then they ended up taking my daughter from me.
So you say that the relationship with them is strained. Do they have mental health issues too
Yes,
as well?
they definitely do.
Are they seeing a therapist?
No, because of the COVID, I called the counselor and they never called me back for my youngest.
How about you? Can you describe a little bit more about your mental health? Did you say that you were hospitalized?
As a teenager, yeah, and that I think I admitted myself too as an adult. I mean, technically I was adult. I was like 17, 18 years old. I think I was 18 actually.
Why did you decide to admit yourself about what was going on?
Just with my daughter, I just felt like I couldn't take care of her because she was probably like either 2 or 4 years old. And it's just very overwhelming for me, you know, dealing with my kids by myself and, you know,
So
working.
right now you talk about drinking. Is drinking still kind of an issue that you're still trying to battle?
As long
right
as
now?
I don't drink a lot, then I'm okay.
Have you ever done illegal drugs or have you been addicted to?
Not addicted to, but yes. I guess technically if you don't have a medical license, weed is illegal, so if you're taking it. So.
Do you worry about having that kind of stuff around your children at all? Or?
More with my ex-husband, but you know, he's more of an alcoholic than anything else. So.
Do you feel like you're broken?
Yeah, basically.
What things have you tried to help yourself cope with that feeling of brokenness?
Just by having kids, but I don't know, because I felt part of me was missing, you know, because I didn't have any bloodline, so that's why I had kids. So that helped a little bit, but then it's overwhelming when they're like constantly telling me they hate me and stuff like that. But just feels so different.
So what do you do as a job to take care of them?
Just work at Walgreens.
So does your mental health ever affect your work at all?
Not lately. I haven't.
Okay,
No.
that's good.
Had it.
So as a child, what actually did you want to be when you grew up? Have you gone to school or
Yeah,
were there any dreams that you actually had?
No, not really. I don't know what to do with my life. I still don't know what to do with my life.
Do you feel lost and a little empty?
Sometimes, yeah, because I don't feel smart or pretty or skinny enough like other people, you know, or, you know.
So you said you've been through therapy. Do you remember what other issues that you guys were working on? Can you describe a little bit of why you
I've
weren't-
been through anger management twice. That was court ordered. That doesn't help.
Okay.
It doesn't help at all. Yeah, I've tried meds, but there's just way too many side effects. Weight gain, or you can even be more depressed, you know, loss of appetite and stuff like that. I don't know.
So do you think if you actually did find your parents and if it actually did happen, do you think you'd feel a sense of wholeness, or do you think there's other issues going on aside from the adoption?
No, I mean, just ask about my medical history. That would be kind of important. I think all I know is that my birth father had depression. So that's, I don't know. I mean, I developed OCD after my first daughter because now I'm like, feel like I'm washing my hands a lot and I need things to be a certain way or I freak out. You know, I need my counters to have nothing on them. I don't like anything on the floor. It's like, you know, and I have way more anxiety than I did before, and I didn't realize like smoking makes the anxiety worse, but I like to smoke.
So you're a chain smoker, or
No, I mean I haven't chain smoked probably since before the kids.
So have you ever been to Korea at all?
No.
Have you as a child ever participated in any Korean culture things like the camps or anything like
Yeah,
that?
we went to Korean school when we were small, and then like Korean festivals, and just going to church with other adoptees.
Did you
There's
feel
quite a
like
few.
you found a sense of belonging with them when you were younger? Or?
Well, they were a lot younger than me, so not really. So I was still alone because I'm a middle child, so there's always problems. The middle
So
child.
are you around a lot of Korean adoptees? Where
Not
you
at
live?
home. No, only growing up.
Okay.
There's very few over there. I still feel out of place though, because I'm just so different, because I say the wrong thing, or I dress the wrong way, or I eat the wrong food, or whatever.
Who tells you that you're different? Is it your own?
I just feel like that.
Okay, so
Just
it's
having
your own
low
feeling.
self-esteem, you know.
So, for other Korean adoptees out there that are struggling a lot like you and they just don't want to live, they find life just not worth it, could you describe a little bit more why, if you could, how you try to help and heal yourself?
Find stuff that makes you happy.
What has made you happy so far?
Well, having pets helps, because emotional therapy, you know, taking care of the pets, cats, dogs, stuff like that. Finding a routine, you know, going to work, you know, taking care of the kids, whatever. Cleaning sometimes could be therapeutic, you know.
Okay, so we'll about wrap this up.
Okay.
So I guess there was one other question. Have you been around the Korean adoptee community a lot in the past or no?
No, just in the last couple of years, just joining groups online, and
So
I've only got to meet
those
2 different groups.
But based off those groups, what would you like to see happen with the Korean adoptee community?
I just like going around meeting everybody and just, you know, finding people that are like me, you know, because there aren't that many where I'm from, you know, try to feel connected.
Do you ever plan going to Korea? Do you think that would
I would, yeah, if I thought I could afford it, you know. I'd like to take my kids though too. But I guess technically it should be an individual trip, I don't know. But I don't really like to go anywhere without them.
What is your Korean name? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, Lee Sang-ok.
Sang-ok.
Yeah.
Do you have any other record?
I was born in Severance Hospital.
Okay. So do you actually have anything else about your adoption, like where you're possibly from, or?
Just Seoul. I mean, that's all it said. And then the adoption papers from Eugene, Oregon.
Okay.
I have a little bit.
We'll just go on a little lighter topic. Do you have hobbies? What do you like enjoying to do?
Arts and crafts, scary movies, reading serial killer books.
Okay. Alrighty. I think we'll end that here, and thanks for your time.